All right. Understanding the Weavings. That's the theme for today. And we thought since we released Kay's book recently, which is all about the weavings, we thought it might be a good idea to talk a little bit about those. And Laura just said that she loves Kay's new book. So you want to show the book again, Laura? Laura Philpott?
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, thank you. This is what we released. And the weaving teachings are thousands of years old, and they always come back and are picked up and studied and practiced in a time when we move from one world, from one era into a new one, into a new era. And we are in the middle of that again. And so about 15 years ago, Kay received those teachings again, and we have been studying and practicing these teachings and the ceremonies since. Okay, and this is what we're going to talk about today. Hi, and welcome again to another Catharsis Healing Talk. My name is Helmut. I am here with my beautiful friends, the Loras. Hi, guys. And of course, Kay Cordell Whitaker. Hi, Kay. And get us off to the races, Kay. Understanding the weavings.
Ooh, understanding the weavings. uh, at first glance, looking at them, at the concept, they seem very straightforward, really simple, but they get beautifully complex and so interconnected. The more you look into them, and the deeper that you look into them, the deeper that you study them, that it's, as the ancients would say, it's endless. The knowledge is endless, and it's just a matter of how much you want of it, of the knowledge, how far you want to go down the rabbit hole. And this is a beautiful rabbit hole to go into. The weavings, like Helmut said, for me, they started about 15 years ago in this lifetime. But as I was instructed to go on some long vision quests, the Hedeka style vision quests, which, that's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever you have time for or you need for. I don't really remember how long that first one was. It was at least 3 weeks, so it could have been 4, 5. I don't know. I lose time when I'm in these teachings, when I'm doing ceremony, when I'm doing things like writing about the teachings, doing the practices. I just totally lose my sense of earthly time. I don't have any idea how much time has passed until I look up from it and I look out the window and, oh, it's not light anymore. It's really dark. But then I love the weavings. They are so beautiful. And I mean that with all the deepest senses that beauty is about. Every aspect of beauty that is in our world, in the universe, and it's all around us. It's on our earth. It's in us. It's in all the plants, and the atmosphere and the clouds and the dirt and the water and the rocks and the animals, the other people. The other people. And of course, that could extend to the people who are living elsewhere in the universe, too. Lots of them. And the ancient teachings talk about them all the time. So many different ones. Beauty, in the way of Katasi, what the ancients say, is more than just looking at something pretty, like a pretty picture, a pretty new couch. Oh, that person is dressed up. That looks so pretty. That's a surface level of pretty and beautiful. And it has to do with those earthly, more linear kinds of aesthetics, the things that bring pleasure to our eyes and our other senses. That's one level of beauty. But when the ancients talk about beauty, they're usually including the spiritual aspects of beauty. And this is the aliveness of everything. When you really experience what aliveness is in yourself, it's in other things around you, everywhere. The space, the air, it's actually alive and conscious. And it has incredible beauty. It is a feel-good medicine to every one of our spirit senses and our body senses. It's ecstatic. Beauty is an aspect of love, unconditional love. And the whole universe is made of unconditional love. That's the ancients' way of describing creation. That the creative impulse, the Oset kept, which means black Isis, the aliveness of the void that was there before all else, before all dimensions, before anything, was this aliveness, this consciousness. And that is ultimate, exquisite beauty. And when she decided to birth the universe and all of its different dimensions, she birthed love first, unconditional love. And this is what this ancients in their spiritual traditions call the most pure cosmic God love. And it's we don't have a real word for it in our language. Other languages might have, but we sure don't. We have to string several words together in order to try to get the concept of it, which is unconditional love. In other words, love that has no conditions, no expectations, just pure acceptance of whatever is just as it is. And just to enjoy it, love it, explore it, whatever it is in the universe. unconditionally. Just explore it without any judgments. And you're probably wondering about now, well, what does that have to do with the weavings? What are the weavings? Well, like Helmut said, these are the weavings. These are ceremonies, big ceremonies. They go on for multiple days and they're repeated. And in other bridge times, we're in the bridge time between the old world and the new world. Other bridge times, sometimes they would be some weaving ceremonies every single day for years. And we have one really big ceremony, weaving ceremony, that goes for 4 days, at least. Sometimes it's a little more. And it's ceremony all day long. We don't go into the nighttime anymore. We used to just keep going and going and going into the late hours. But some of us older folks, and some of the students have gotten a bit older too. Can't keep up with that many days burning the candle at both ends like that. So we combined it into a number of days together, one after the other, but not going late into the night. And the concept is that in this beautiful, beautiful universe that we have, with all this unconditional love and the love that is born first, and then everything is woven. In the Egyptian way, the love is Mut, the goddess Mut. And the next one is Neith. Neath is the usual spelling for the Egyptian goddess Neith. She wears this odd-shaped thing on her head. Most people don't know what that is these days, but it's part of the weaving loom, part of a weaving loom. And she had the cosmic weaving loom, and she took that love and wove it into all the dimensions and all the worlds and all the parts and pieces of the universe, and physical things and non-physical things and spiritual things and emotional things, thinking things, everything. She wove everything into being. And we call that weaving the web, the world web, or the universal web. And we're all part of it. Our Earth, all the planets, all the suns, the whole universe is in this web. And so for the web of us, humanity on the planet Earth, and all the other things that we share the Earth with on this planet, these are the things that are living in this piece of the web of our planet, Mother Earth. And in this ceremony, we do healing ceremonies on the web. We heal the web. We clean out the old thought forms that have collected. And when we first started, that was really stinky and thick and hard and nasty. But we just keep at it, keep loving it. Don't judge it. Don't get angry at it. When you're doing a healing, sometimes you have stuff that's in that form that you want to heal, whether it's a garden or a dog or a person or yourself. You get inside and you look, and you can see some pretty gross stuff sometimes. But it's alive, it's conscious, and it's often stuff that we have made. And when it concerns the web, it's so much, huge percentage of things, the humans on Earth are responsible for these thought forms that we have put into the web through the centuries. And it's been a lot of centuries since the last weaving. So you could kind of imagine the way our world has been with all of its wars and its fighting and its sickness and the corruption, all, theft and murder, et cetera, et cetera. That web looked in pretty bad shape, pretty dirty. So what we do with these healings, we energetically collect some of this dirty energies and thoughts, and we give it to the Mother Earth or to some other celestial body to take it and put it where it needs to be, where it is a world that looks like heaven. That's the words they used to use. It sends it to its own world that looks like heaven, that doesn't have anything to do with our material world, can't come back, and it's happy. It's going on to its great reward, and we're happy, and everything around us is happier and healthier to get rid of the sickness. So then we put in love and beauty and happiness and caring and all those kinds of feelings and concepts that we want to be part of the new web. Sometimes the spirit helpers will give you a piece of web full of that stuff to put in place to repair the threads itself, because the threads got twisted or broken or too corrupted. So this is what a weaving ceremony is. We're busy concentrating on certain aspects of the web. We have these symbols that are carved on the pipes that we use in the ceremonies. And that's what's in that book, the meaning of the symbols that are carved on those pipes. Right now, those pipes are sitting on my altar right over there. And this is an altar that you don't take down. It went up very early in the weavings, and it's been up ever since. It's very active and very strong and very beautiful. And it has those two pipes on it. There's a third and a fourth pipe that are, or even a fifth one, that are in that book. And all those pipes are in that altar. They're a very major part of that altar, that strength of that. And those pipes, that is a Native American tradition to have pipes that they're used as a prayer tool, as a way to talk to yourself, to talk to God, to talk to the spirits, to talk to all the life around you. And sometimes it's for help, sometimes it's for wanting to learn about things, sometimes it's wanting to help others. And in this case, with the weavings, the pipes are used to help heal the Mother Earth, to concentrate all the ideas, all the feelings, and the emotions that all the weavers have, their hopes and their dreams for a better world, a cleaner world, a non-corrupt world. And that's what the weaving ceremonies are about, healing the earth. But you can't do these kind of ceremonies without it really affecting you. You can't touch these sacred objects or sit in front of this altar or do these ceremonies of such deep, profound healing, cosmic healing for the whole planet, and not be seriously changed, healed, your own consciousness expanding, and your own communication with the spirits, with however you think of as creator, and the life that is around you, the field, the life energy. It's so strong. Many, many spirits come to these ceremonies to participate in them, to help. It gets really crowded. And like the ancients, their old tradition is that when you do a ceremony, you want a window or a door at least cracked open, even if it's snowing outside, so that the spirits are invited in if they want to come in. And we end up leaving all the doors and windows in the house open completely. And there's so many that they couldn't fit in the house. You could feel them. Sometimes some people can see them, and they see their own family members, most of which have usually passed on, and their ancestors, people who come from their heritage, their ancestral. I don't know what kind of word you want to use to talk about them, but people who had a great influence on their own people, a good influence, a healing influence. And all these spirits show up and help. And they're singing. A very important part of a weaving ceremony is the singing. I do not know any of the songs that came from the last bridge and weaving ceremonies, but we have found some music that fits and works, and everybody sings, whether they're in person here in the house with us or they're online. We're all hooked up together. We can hear everybody, and all that singing together. And with the time delay for the people that are online, they're on speaker, so everybody here could hear them and hear the music really well. All those sounds, they start harmonizing with each other and blending in together and making a whole new experience that is hard to describe. And you hear the music, the spiritual music that's around you, the spirits that are making music, the music from the trees and the other plants, the land, clouds. And it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. One of the things we've had such a hard time with in this world that we are in is that it has been very corrupt. Very, very, very corrupt. They call it the upside down, backwards turning wheel energy. That it builds the culture that we live in today. We've actually been in this culture for thousands of years. We may have changed languages and our clothes and some of the cultural details, but we have the same condition, the same corruption. And this corruption has stolen the beauty out of our world. It's been trying to steal our ability to perceive the beauty and the love and the caring and all the things that go with it. And they've succeeded at quite a bit of that. But their time is ending. And it's our time to bring the beauty back, bring the love back, bring the happiness back, the fairness, the honesty, the good health of everybody. So that's Weaving 101. Short version. We could all probably talk for hours and days about what the weaving is and how it feels. Big part of it is feeling, the feeling of it. It's not a thinking thing. Like the book. Most books are a thinking thing. You can think your way through it and read fast and zip, zip, zip. But this book, you can't do that. The weavings, this book is written the way the spirits talk to us, talk to me, and that's all poetry. Uh, Whether it looks like poetry or not, it's still all coming out as poetry. So this book has to be felt. You have to read a little slower. You have to slow down for a little bit if you're going to get into this book, and read slower, feel it, picture everything that's being said, picture it, feel it. That's where the understanding comes from. And that's what we do in the weaving ceremonies. You can't understand any of it if you don't feel it. You feel it with all your physical senses and your spirit senses. There are some people that say that in the old times, before the flood, that people knew 360 different spirit senses. They knew them all, they felt them all, they used them all. And it takes an enormous expansion of consciousness. So those are our ancestors. And we got the same genes that they got. And we got the same, all the same goods. We have the same possibilities. We just didn't, we forgot. We unlearned it. We forgot all that stuff. Now it's time to bring it back. That's what this is. This is bringing it back into the world, so that everybody has access to this now, to this knowledge, to this knowing, to this feeling, to these experiences. We learn from these experiences. We gain. Our consciousness grows from these experiences, and the beauty of all of it. That's what beauty is. And the weavings are beautiful, beyond description. How have the weavings been for you, Lora and Lora? And Helmut.
That was beautiful, Kay. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to take the QR code down, but for those watching this gets you to the book on Amazon and you can check it out. And there's also a link in the description to the book and to the weaving ceremonies. Thank you, Kay.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Are you going, Laura?
I thought you were going to go first, but I'll jump in. Let's see. I have been weaving, I can't remember. Did I start in 20? I think it was in 20. I could be wrong. Doesn't matter. I've been doing, we have a weaving group that meets most Thursdays too. Taking a little bit of break this summer, but I still weave just about every Thursday. And then, 4 or 5 years of weaving. And I just want to say, wow, it's just so wonderful. When you first start out and you learn about your song first, and you have that base that you weave from, that knowingness of your infiniteness. And I mean, it's just changed me. Every year that I weave, it changes me, and it's healing me, and not just me, but the planet, and I know it. And it's so interesting. When I first started weaving, and I could, you get shown certain things. Like you said, you could go, oh, ooh, that needs to come out for sure. But now it's like, oh, hi, I see what we've created, and who knows how much I put into it as well, uh, but I have so much compassion and that knowingness inside myself. I can embrace no matter what's being shown to me, and talk to it with love and that unconditional love, and then send it through Mother Earth's door. And it's just, I think at first I had too many no-nos when I first started weaving, because you get shown all kinds of stuff. It's hard not to judge all the backwards turning wheel stuff that you are shown, and the things that we have created as a society, from generation to generation, and just all those thought forms and those. Yeah, I could go into that, but it seems like now when I weave, there's just unconditional love. It's like that's my foundation now. That's what I'm totally working from. And when I'm shown these things, it doesn't shake me or rattle me at all. I feel so much love for all of it. I don't know these things that are being shown, how much those things are going to help humanity to awaken, but we're there to help clear it out and give it another place to go. And I just love how these symbols are so interconnected, and it reminds me of my connectedness. I mean, I can feel it when you're weaving. Now we're just connected to everything. And it's just changed me. I think everybody should weave. Everybody should get into it, because it just changes your world. You just see things differently. You see things from gratitude and appreciation and just that unconditional love, no matter what you're seeing. Yeah, that's been my experience. What about yours, Laura? I just love how it's all connected and all the symbols are connected. It's just, the more you get into it, you just see it's the whole package. It's the whole package. The best way to put it, it's the whole package. Go ahead, Laura. I'll be quiet.
Oh no, keep going. It's okay. I need a tissue for some reason. Hang on. All right, nose starts dripping before I start tearing. When I was a kid, I think I was 5 years old or 4 years old or something. Someone asked what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I said a superhero. And they told me that wasn't possible. That was all imaginary. And that I needed to, and I was just like, but wait. And I swear my 4-year-old was brilliant. I look at my granddaughters now, and I try to help them do things, and they say, I got it. I got it. And I'm like, and I find that now with the weavings at the beginning. I was just thinking when Lora was saying that, I remember in the beginning when the spirits would show us what we were going to work on, and it seemed overwhelming. Like, me, I can do that. You're sending me in to clean up this island of garbage in the ocean. Or I got plopped down in the middle of a very abusive war situation, and they're like, this is what you're going to clean up. And, you know, other things have been way more metaphoric and beautiful. I've been given golden threads to just weave back into the webs that felt like love and honey and just delicious. But now, you know, when Lora was saying that, I just suddenly heard the voice of, you know, my 4-year-old granddaughter saying, I got it. It was like, okay, send me in that combat place. I got it. I got it. You know, it's almost like, yeah, I want that cleaned up too. I mean, you're just, these are the things. And then you see suddenly on the news, things changing. We were doing one of the symbols that has a lot of the environmental cleanups, the land cleanups, enriching the soil and improving the water. And that I remember asking the spirits if I could bring my property, my land, into it. You know, and you bring these symbols up and through your body with the energy, and so that healing's hitting every cell, and so you're changing. I mean, I can talk forever on the changes after each ceremony. Physical changes, you know, just character changes. So everything, it's the way you see the world changes in beautiful ways. But I did my land with all the other land, and I came home, and the weavings are normally in fall, and I had spring flowers blooming when I got home. My land, and I proceed to do that every year, is to, you know, my home, my property, my family, along with the world, is when it's appropriate, the spirits let me bring those. That's probably why my granddaughters are so adorable, not just because they're adorable, but bring these symbols through. But I remember checking in with my husband, and he's like, you gotta stop. He goes, I've mowed the lawn twice since you've been gone. We had so much growth. He's like, you can cut it back now, kind of dial it back a little bit. It's a little, but you see it. I mean, my sister-in-law and I planted the same trees around the same time, same type. And, you know, mine hit like 20 feet tall when hers were 10. I mean, there were you get the opportunity. I don't know how many applications for the School of Katasi I've read, and they all mirror mine when they ask why you want to do this. Typically, you know, over 50% will say, I want to save the planet. And I'm that person. I wanted to make change in this planet. I wanted to be a superhero. And this is why the weavings are the first thing I've had where I feel that. I feel like I'm able to do that. I've seen the change. I don't have to just believe my recycling is actually going to where it's supposed to be. That is becoming another product and not finding out it's floating in the ocean somewhere because it got dumped. When you pay attention, you see the changes in the world. You'll see it. You know, I don't watch a whole lot of news just because I don't need to watch lies for hours, you know, but you will notice the change and you'll definitely notice the change in you. When Kay says the weavings are beauty, it's just like, that's one of the major things that starts clicking is your awareness of beauty increases. You can't help it. There's not a way you can come out of the weavings without being changed in beautiful ways, and changing everything else around you. I mean, those days are intense. There's just because we're not used to focusing that much, but the singing, You know, you don't realize how long you've been doing it until you stop. But the singing and the weaving, and it's in the spirits all showing up. Laura, did you have anything else? I didn't mean to go on that long.
Well, I'll just say it again. It's the whole package. It's when you start weaving, you feel that unlimitedness and all that possibility and all that unconditional love and all the freedom and all the choices, and you feel your unlimitedness, your totality. I mean, it's just, and you're connected to it all. It's just, I can't even tell you. You have to feel it and experience it. And yeah, and all of us that have weaved, we feel it.
Well, I was about to say as a group.
As a group.
Yeah, there's something too. That's one of my other favorite parts about doing the ceremony, is because it's international. You know, it's like there's quite a few of us in person, but we're connected to those who are doing it online. You know, Germany, Mexico, I forget the other places, but we're the scatteredness, and all of a sudden you feel like we're all in the same room. And I've done little weavings on my own by myself, but it's like one and one. It's an exponential thing when we're as a group, the power, and you can feel that. You can feel like when you step in, you're adding not just yourself, but 10 of you. You know, and the next person, it just like it keeps exponentially growing, and you can feel that, you know. And definitely with the singing, it's, you know, it's hard not to just be blown away by it all, and also try to stay in it, stay focused. But it's one of our classmates had said this, you know, the very first time we wove. She said, if I don't do anything else in my lifetime, I did this. And her words were, that's what hit me. It's like, exactly, I weave. You know, I've made a better world for my grandkids. I know I have, because I've seen it. I have proof.
I feel the ancientness of it too. It's like the lineage, the connection to, I mean, like when we're weaving, it feels like there's no time. It's multidimensional. It's, how do you put that in words? I can't. So forget that.
No, you did a really good job. You do. You feel the ancientness. You feel like you're sitting there with somebody who did the weaving ceremony, you know, thousands of years ago, when the mound builders did them. You feel them in the room with you. You know, you feel you doing them 1,000 years ago and doing them again today.
I just got chills.
I know. You started it.
They started it.
Which was really you.
Well, one thing that you experience, you brought up to, you know, the mound builders showing up. When we study these ancient teachings in Katasi, and you learn about who and what you are and what your song, that's your song, the who and what you are. You learn what that feeling is, identifying with it. And one of those things that just starts happening with all of that, if you keep into the practices, is remembering past lives. And you can remember your loved ones from these past lives, from the mound builder time was one of the weaving times, and then way before that, a time of Lemuria, and I remember some of the people that were part of my life, my family. Like in the mound builder time, it was my grandmother, who was very, very, very old, and she was so precious to everybody. And it's like being able to go back there again and visit her again as my grandmother from that life. And I feel her here in the room. You know, she comes, and she's been with us in other lifetimes as well. And sometimes I feel her really specifically in that form that she was in this life or that life. And it's just, we just don't have English words to describe the feeling of being able to reunite with those loved ones, that part of them that was that person, and the part of you that was you back then. You know, when you were in that same time period, and you remember the music of those ceremonies, and maybe a little smell of that tobacco, or a favorite food, or the people that meant the most to you, places. It's extraordinary, the things that happen within big weaving ceremonies. And like Lora said, the power is accentuated. It's multiplied so many times with all the people, with all the spirits. It's luscious, luscious. Helmut?
I don't know what to add. I mean, I'm just going to go and enjoy this talk for the rest of the weekend and beyond. So beautiful. And what I can say is that very similar stories to what the Loras have been talking about, to go from a life of despair to this, to love and beauty and peace. And throughout, I always wanted to, of course, make a difference, help. How can I help change this? And while many of the things I got into had their place in their own right, they always felt to me like band-aids. It's like fix a little hour here and a little hour here, but I never knew what it really did. It may have helped some individuals, and that's a really good thing. But with the weavings, it's like you go at the core of the problem and you address that. Changing the blueprint of the web of life to what it has always meant to be, what it originally has meant to be for life, all life, especially humanity, and how we live and how we treat each other and how we love each other. And that, like, I'm just super grateful to have made it here and be able to partake in this. So thank you. And while we're at it, if you want to find out more about the gathering, here's that code again. Our weaving gathering where we do those ceremonies that we talked about. And if that's a little too big to jump in, here's the book. That's a good place to start. Kay did a truly, truly remarkable job on putting this together. It's like, if you vibrate with this kind of teachings in any way, you're going to fall in love with it. So we have a few minutes left. If you have any questions or comments, sharing, please feel free. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn notifications on for our channel, and share as much as you can. Ooh, the pipes, yay. Whoops. There we are. Do the other ones too again. I had you. Yeah. Yes. Spider pipe. I don't know why you muted, honey.
It came out so beautifully.
I did. There's the other.
Ah, yes. And there's somebody enjoying the altar there.
Yes, so this one too.
Yeah.
And
I'd
the
like to
pictures
share
in
one more.
between that describe the symbols. Pull up one of those. There's all of them are just stunning, stunning. They're in color, but they're close up on the pipe, describing, so you can see what that symbol is carved into the pipe.
Okay, I believe the link to the book is in the description as well, so you can find it there too. All right. Are we all good?
I want to share one more thing if I can.
Absolutely.
So the thing that got me the most when weaving is when you're weaving and you're really into it, you can feel all the unconditional love and all the help you have to do this. You're not doing it alone. And there's just something about knowing that we have so much help to do this. And, besides that, we're so powerful too. But this is going to happen. We have so much unconditional love available to us. We've got this.
We got this.
We got it.
And like everybody has mentioned, we look around the world, in our own environment, immediate environment, and look out at the news of what's going on, talking to other people, and you can see this incredible improvement and cleaning up and this increase of unconditional love and gratitude. I used to never see gratitude. When I first started seeing gratitude in other people, genuine. I mean, there's the polite words and all that stuff, but I mean genuinely gratitude, real gratitude. And now you see it, you feel it in people, and you can feel it in the air around you. And all of that has changed so incredibly in the last 15 years. Even we have one woman who's a scientist, and she was kind of involved on the side, an interest of her own, with the ozone hole over Australia. And as we were doing weavings, the hole kept shrinking. The ozone hole kept shrinking. And nobody had ever seen that happen before. They didn't think it could happen just on its own. But and we see businesses being started and working. Like there's this company, there's at least one, it's a huge company with these enormous boats and equipment that scoop garbage out of the ocean, and they recycle it. They're recycling the plastic and metals and all kinds of stuff. We're seeing the sensitivity and the attitude of people and the warmth, the growth of humanity. But we're still seeing bits of that upside down, backwards turning wheel culture effects, and with their wars and the horrible things they seem to be always producing. But the feeling of it has lessened. And we know we have had an effect. So I want to thank all the weavers and all the spirits that come whenever we talk about this, or we do the ceremonies and the big ceremonies. And wow, you guys are just amazing. Thank you all.
Thank you, Kay. You let my little 4-year-old be a superhero, so
Mine too.
thank you.
Okay, thank you guys. Truly beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us live, and whoever watches this later, I hope you enjoyed the show. And maybe you jump into the book, or maybe even into the weaving ceremonies. We'll see. Whatever you do, be happy. Love you.
Lots of love. Love you all.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.